Oh,
What's going on, YouTube? It's Sincere, place to be. Children, MCINTRYE back to give you guys another Raw review for November 2nd, 2020. And we got a pretty much simple Raw here. It didn't do much to build up to Survivor Series, stuff like that going on. But like I said, I reviewed it. It wasn't the worst Raw I've ever seen. It wasn't the best Raw I've ever seen. It was kind of neutral. We'll get to the grades. Kind of like in the middle. Raw shirt still hasn't come. If anybody has been watching my reviews, you will see that I tried to do a SmackDown. I have a SmackDown shirt. I bought a SmackDown shirt and a Raw shirt. The SmackDown shirt came, so I would have done SmackDown reviews. I got to try to get the Team Raw shirt to come on, but the mail has been slowed down, so I have not been able to get my Raw shirt in time. So the red thermal will have to do. You know what I'm saying? Okay, well, Randy Orton comes out, and Randy Orton goes down and says, to everybody that just said that I was handed everything to me, well, this right here proves that nothing was handed down to me, and this shows that I'm better than Edge, I'm better than Undertaker, I'm better than Drew McIntyre, I'm better than all the people that he beat, Triple H, or whatever the case may be, and Ric Flair, because I'm no longer the legend killer, I'm just a legend. And which means I am the best. So for any superstar that wants to be down there and wants to walk out except to me, I'm ready for him. Then Alexa Bliss comes down. Alexa Bliss comes down, and she just stands there and does this with her hands, and on her hands it's written like pain or something else. And she says he could be here. And then the lights go off as like the Fiend's about to come out, the type stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, Drew McIntyre hits a Claymore kick onto Randy Orton, and then so Randy Orton is out, and who comes down? The Miz comes down to cash in his Money in the Bank. He tells the referee he wants to cash it in, and Drew McIntyre stops that stuff, throws the Miz out, and hits John Morrison and tosses him out on the outside. And he said he is the only one that's going to beat Randy Orton for that WWE title. I like seeing that out of Drew McIntyre, because I don't think Drew McIntyre should have lost the championship anyway. I do think the way this Drew McIntyre is this year would have been a great match against the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, opposed to this is not both of them from WrestleMania 35. We are beyond those Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyres. I just as much as Randy Orton, I'm a fan of Randy Orton. He's my fourth favorite wrestler of all time. It's just that I'm not feeling the Randy Orton Roman Reigns thing right now. And Randy Orton is so good at what he does. He doesn't need the championship. I know they probably want him to drop it to Edge, but that match to me does not need the championship. You know what I'm saying? So, but now we're getting ready for the Guitar on the Pole Brawl matchup. Yes, we're doing a Guitar on the Pole between Elias and Jeff Hardy. I'm just like, let this thing end now. Jeff Hardy needs to be doing something better. Elias needs to be doing something better. Elias did a storyline where they're not even paying attention to Sheamus. He still thinks Jeff Hardy ran him over with the car. It's been proven that Jeff Hardy didn't run him over with the car. So what's the point? Like, if he's not going back and watching these shows, they're not getting Sheamus involved. So I'm just like, end this crap. And they do. Jeff Hardy, I said, the match is very unforgettable. Jeff Hardy tries to go up the first time, and Elias throws and hits him with a stool. And I was like, whoa, I've never seen that happen in wrestling. But, I mean, I did see Strowman launch a computer chair at Roman Reigns, so that was cool. But Jeff Hardy finally goes to the top of the guitar, jumps down and blasts Elias in the back of the guitar. I don't even like it all the way exploded, and then pins him. And I was just like, so that's what you had to do in the first. Okay, whatever the case may be. Jeff Hardy wins. Hope this feud is over between Elias and Jeff Hardy. Getting ready for the Women's Tag Team Championships now. Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, the new team, is coming out to take on Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. But who's also coming out there to witness? It's Lana. So Lana's out there at ringside. So the match is going on, and Lana tries to help out Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose, but it backfires. Dana Brooke is caught in a caribou to clutch. And then they do take them kind of to the limit. So I was like, it's kind of good to see. They're gelling a lot as a tag team, that way more so than Peyton Royce and Lacey Evans, which was the point of, you're going to have Lacey Evans and Peyton Royce do stuff, you should have left it with Billie Kay. The Iconics were great as a team, and they actually have real chemistry because they're best friends, and they grew up together and all stuff like that. So why even try to break them up? And then just to throw her with another woman. It makes absolutely no sense. Don't worry. We're going to get the tag team breakups later on in the review, and how one of them just completely doesn't make no sense at all. So, the heels win with that. Randy Orton tells, the hunter is going to be hunted, and then he's going to give him the 3 most devastating letters in all sports entertainment, RKO. Bobby Lashley is coming out with his match against R-Truth, which R-Truth thought he was going to be against the water boy Bobby Boucher, but he wasn't. He said, yo, man, look, we ain't got to do that. I'm a champion, you a champion. Look, I'll just lie down for you, dog. This is about the Instagram post. No, Bobby said, get it. I'm going to put you in this. So, as he tries to bend down to get it for the hurt lock, Truth kicks him, tries to go for his scissors kick, but Bobby bounces off the ropes and gives Truth a spear, turns Truth inside out, does a backflip with it. I was just like, hey, this man is old enough to do that, so make it look good. And Bobby puts him in the hurt lock, and then Bobby wins the matchup. Truth passes out, and then here comes Drew Gulak to come pin R-Truth, but no, then Lashley puts the hurt lock on Drew Gulak, but then tosses him on to R-Truth, and then Drew Gulak is now the 24/7 champion. I don't like how Drew Gulak has got reduced to the 24/7 championship now. As great of a wrestler as he is, someone representing Philly, I want, the stretch law. I want Drew Gulak to be out there having a match like he was with Daniel Bryan, stuff like that. He is a great wrestler. I want him to go out there and have those kind of matches, and not be in these little silly segments with R-Truth. And honestly, there are times that R-Truth is older, but he could be in a more serious role and even just take 24/7 championship a little seriously. But that's not what that title is even made for. But I just don't want Drew Gulak to be reduced to that role when there's so much other things you can do for Drew Gulak, in my personal opinion. AJ Styles comes out. He's Captain AJ for the Raw Survivor Series team, and we got Keith Lee and Sheamus, including AJ Styles, on the team. So he wants to bring those guys out. And Keith Lee says, "Now hold on, who said that you made you the captain?" And then Sheamus says, "Oh, I have to agree with him." He said, "No, I'm captain." AJ Styles, but guys, we gotta get along. Because you're both talented, and we gotta go over there and beat Team SmackDown. Then Strowman comes out and says, "I'm going to be part of Team Raw." Keith Lee says, "Hold on, we qualified. You didn't even qualify for it." He said, "Well, last time I beat you clean." He said, "Excuse me? Say you beat me clean, you say?" So, because obviously Strowman went for the low blow and didn't beat Keith Lee clean at all. So Adam Pearce comes out and says, "Look, we've been trying to find an opponent. I really want you on Team Raw, but we're trying to find you opponents you can qualify with." But AJ says, "Well, look, I got an idea. Why don't we have Keith Lee go up against Sheamus, go up against Braun Strowman, so we have a triple threat matchup?" Now, this right here, in storyline sense, makes no sense. Don't have the team fight each other just so they can get on the team. That makes no sense. And I'm like, and then if you go by storyline perspective, then why would you beat the other guy down so much to the point where they can't even probably be on the team no more? So you mess your own self up like that. And I hate that was the way we got into this matchup. There's nobody back there, nobody you can't even build up to even have Braun Strowman just beat. And you could where's Dabba-Kato at? You know what I'm saying? You could have had him beat him to qualify for the matchup or have some kind of quality kind of matches. But we got a triple threat matchup, which was actually pretty good. There's a spot that Keith Lee goes to dive over the top rope. Keith Lee jumped to, I want to say too late, and his arms got caught on the top rope, and then his head came and hit the back of the apron. It looked very dangerous, and I'm just like, for some reason, there's sometimes when I get cringy when I see Keith Lee. He's a big guy. You got to get a lot of momentum, and you got to jump just right and just high enough to clear that top rope, and then land on without hurting yourself or anybody else. And every time I see big guys do it, even when Undertaker do it, I'm just like, I get cringy because they don't fly like cruiserweights do. It's just science. It's just the mass. You just can't move like that. So I was glad to see he was okay. He's finished off with the match. They cleared off the announce table. Strowman tried to give them the power slam through there. Keith Lee gets out. Him and Sheamus hit him with a steel chair over the announce table. And then Sheamus throws Keith Lee into the post on the outside. And then he tries to give him the 10 bell things with the chest. And then Keith Lee grabs his arm, takes him to the outside, throws him to the barricade. We get back into the ring. We get a Tower of Doom spot. Keith Lee has Braun Strowman's legs up. Actually, Sheamus is choking out Keith Lee, and then Braun Strowman spears them both through the barricade before we go to commercial. Then when we come back, we get a Tower of Doom spot, which is actually very kind of impressive by these two. So it was pretty good. But then as Keith Lee is setting up Strowman for the Spirit Bomb, Sheamus hits a bro kick on Keith Lee. He's about to pin him, but then Strowman gets a power slam on Sheamus and wins the matchup. I knew this was going to happen because they didn't want to have Keith Lee lose, but of course they didn't want to have Strowman lose neither. So Sheamus was the fall guy, unfortunately, in this matchup. And then after the match, AJ was trying to all congratulate him, get him together, and he said, "Hug it out." And then Strowman was like, "I want to do for this team." Like, why are you so passionate about this damn team when it means nothing? Something got to be on the line for these guys that want to go up against Sheamus, Keith Lee, and Strowman. And AJ Styles. Like, SmackDown got nothing to combat that unless I think what they're going to probably do is put Lars Sullivan in the match somehow. But how you going to get Lars to agree with that? It got to be something on the line. So I'm just saying, WWE needs to do a better job at booking that. But Keith Lee and Braun Strowman shake hands while Sheamus and Braun Strowman give a forceful hug it out, and then Sheamus bro kicks Strowman through the ropes, and then Keith Lee trucks Sheamus through the ropes, and then AJ just Pele kicks Keith Lee. Says, "Can't we just all get along?" Romantic promo by Angel Garza has a rose for a special lady. I don't know if that's Charlie Caruso or whoever he's talking to, but it was very quick and everything like that. So he's probably getting a new Mamacita coming up for his new role, whatever the case may be. Drew McIntyre's backstage and says that, he's going to be Orton's guardian angel. Nobody's going to hurt Randy Orton because he's going to be the one that's going to take the belt off of him. So he's not worried about The Miz and Morrison at all because he's going to be right there week in and week out to get until he's going to force Randy's hand to give him a rematch, of course. Firefly Funhouse is there with Alexa Bliss and Bray Wyatt. And then we have Abby the Witch that cursed and she had to put some money in the swear jar, but then Alexa has this new thing that she's been working on, so she like to show it. So Bray Wyatt puts his hand up to her face, and she comes down, and it's all evil. Her eyes are evil, and she starts squirting out this red blood coming out, this thick red blood. And then Bray Wyatt's like, "Holy shit!" And then it blanks the whole thing out. Decent Firefly Funhouse segment. I think Alexa Bliss, in my opinion, looked way better in this one than she did last. For some reason, last week wasn't hitting for me. It was it for everybody else. I know I'm weird, but this week I'm like, I'm getting it now. I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. So Nia Jax's already pissed off. Don't say Lana's name around me, and how she's on the Survivor Series team. She said tonight I want to end her career. So Lana and Nia Jax are going at it. Lana's trying. But Nia Jax has just been playing with her, and then, goes for the 3 count, but it pulls her up. Saying, "You asked for this," gives her a final Samoan drop, and then pins her. And then, of course, for the 7th time, Lana goes through the announce table. I don't know what this is leading up to. If this is she just paying for the sins of Miro, or whatever the case may be. But poor Lana keeps going through this announce table, and I don't even think she's going to be on the Survivor Series team because she is the weak link on there. So I don't know if they'll get Lacey Evans or Peyton Royce or Naomi to replace her. I'm just not sure, but Lana ain't going to be the one, unfortunately. That's just not the way it's going to be. MVP Lounge with the Hurt Business, and Bobby Lashley says, Sami Zayn calls himself the champion of all countries. I'm champion of one. I only got one thing to say. I'm going to put you to sleep. So I'm kind of looking forward to this matchup so they can redo the terrible thing that they did a couple years ago with Sami Zayn and Bobby Lashley, because both men need this and both men are in a better place than they were the first time they had that matchup. No Bobby sisters or nothing. We got to hear from none of that shit. So then New Day come out. It's a non-title match. I thought it was a title match, but it's a non-title match between the New Day and the Hurt Business. And they exchange some jabs. MVP calls it looking like clowns, and we're here in business and we get our payment in gold. And then Kofi Kingston comes out and makes fun of how Xavier Woods talking about something. I used to love watching Bobby Lashley, but I would wake up late because I had to go to school the next day, so they talk about how old he is. And Shelton Benjamin's old, and MVP is old. He's good on the mic, but then Cedric is I'm sure you'll have some accomplishments, something like that. So they kind of making fun of Cedric for being obviously the young one. And then MVP comes in. Kofi says, I got more titles than any of y'all combined up there. I got Intercontinental Championships, plural. Tag Team Championships, plural. By the way, Xavier was saying plural. U.S. Championships, plural. And then he says, and I also got the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, which something that you never did, Bobby Lashley. And then MVP says, yeah, well, didn't you lose that to 8 seconds to Brock Lesnar? And then Kobe's like, well, according to Lana, 8 seconds is how long Bobby can last. And then they was getting all mad. And then, of course, they do the whole New Day Rocks thing. So we get a tag team matchup, and it was an entertaining matchup. I thought, give these guys more time and something more on the line would be entertaining. There were some kind of, it wasn't botches, but they were kind of like misdirects. Like, it was kind of like, okay, you're doing this. I don't know. There was a time where Cedric monkey flipped Kofi, but he kind of landed on his feet, and then Kofi did the same thing. I think Cedric tried to do the same thing. He kind of like slid and hit his face. So I think he was trying to land on his feet, but just like I played it off type thing. There were a couple of choppy moments. Like, if we could just brush this out, it's kind of like this would be good, and they got good chemistry. Cedric hits Xavier Woods with a hard super kick right here on the side of the neck. You can tell that thing kind of hurt, and Xavier Woods, as he's distracted, Cedric does his handspring insecurity right into a pay dirt, and then the Hurt Business win the non-title match against the New Day. So at first I thought it was a title match. I was like, damn, they have the titles already? But now it was a non-title match that they won. So what I think is going to happen, we're going to get the New Day and the Street Profits at Survivor Series, which is a match I do want to see. And I really would like to. I did get real excited seeing the New Day and Street Profits. Then afterwards, the Hurt Business is going to come in and take them championships from the New Day. And then so the Hurt Business will walk around the United States Championship and the Tag Team Championships. But then hopefully Bobby can go after the World Heavyweight Championship after the Fiend, or Drew McIntyre and Edge is all done with it. I don't the best, but that championship needs to come to the Hurt Business, because I'm really enjoying the Hurt Business, and they need to stay together for at least Raw. Nikki Cross is backstage. She finally catches up with Alexa Bliss. I was like, where's this storyline going? Because I haven't heard anything about it. But now we finally get Nikki Cross saying, Alexa, I've been calling you. It's got to be the Fiend, right? She turns it around, but she has a possessed look on her face. So obviously we're still keeping that story going with Nikki Cross. Remember, Nikki Cross can be crazy. Ricochet versus Tucker. Yes, the same Tucker from Heavy Machinery. Tucker looks like generic Crawl from, any 2K game. I'm like, he got the simple tights and everything. It's just, his whole look is gone. The whole look is gone. He doesn't look like anything. This singles run is not going to do anything for Tucker by no means. He's in there with Ricochet. Like, he finally got away from the Hurt Business. And then all of a sudden, Mustafa Ali is out. He's just walking around the ring since on the announce table. Ricochet beats Tucker. I don't know, insecurity or something like that. It wasn't nothing big. Tucker's gone. I'm like, Tucker needs to go back to, like, the whole... It's kind of like when they broke Crime Time up, and they tried to push Shad as something big. After they had their blow-off matchup, it didn't go to do anything for Shad. Like, some people are just made to be tag team wrestlers. Everybody can't be successful as Edge and Christian, or the Dudleys, or the Hardys apart. They have to be together. And even Devon at one point, I'm like... I enjoy Devon, and he had a good run on certain things, but he's better as a tag team wrestler. He just is. So Retribution coming around Tucker. They beat Tucker up, and then they go after Ricochet, and then they beat Ricochet up. So I don't know what the message is going to be here. Retribution is still here. I'm just like, I thought Her Business took them out and called it a day, but no, Retribution is still here. I guess you're trying to get them some credibility under their belts, but it ain't gonna be with the Hurt Business. Sheamus tries to recruit Drew McIntyre to Team Raw, and then Drew McIntyre says, I would love to join, but I got championships in my mind. And he understands that, but he said go give 2 Claymores for The Miz and John Morrison. 2-on-1 handicap match with The Miz and John Morrison take on Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre just on fire here. He is not just letting up for anything. Gives belly to bellies on the outside, gives reverse Alabama Sam from on Morrison up onto The Miz. He tried double team for a little bit, but it doesn't necessarily work. He tosses Morrison off the top rope with a release German suplex, and Morrison flips backwards, and then Miz gets a Claymore kick. 1, 2, 3. Drew McIntyre wins, but of course, out of nowhere, it's the RKO, and he's the last one standing. But then the Fiend's I think the Fiend's things go off. I'm not sure at the end, but yeah, he got the last word. So I don't know if it's gonna be a triple threat before Survivor Series. I don't know, because the Fiend, McIntyre, and Orton all should be on the show. But there's one spot left for the Men's Survivor Series team. It's either gonna go to McIntyre or maybe the Fiend. But I don't see the Fiend working well with anybody like that. So do you do the Fiend versus the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns and take the belt off Randy Orton, but then Drew McIntyre doesn't get that thing back. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do with that. So that was Raw. Raw gets a slight pass, like a C for me, because there were some things I liked on there and some things it just dragged out a little bit. I know a lot of stuff is going on right now, but you know what? That was Raw. Post your comments down below. What you guys think about Raw? Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed my review of Raw. Hit the subscribe button for more WWE content right here on NC Studios. Make sure you guys go out there and vote tomorrow. And once again, this is NC, a place to be. Children Mr. and their coalition is out.